In 1912, there were many notable occurrences such as the joining of New Mexico and Alaska into the United States. However, a tragic event occurred mid-Atlantic which would make this year ingrained into the minds of future generations to come. The ocean-going liner RMS Titanic was on her maiden voyage between Southampton, England, to New York, carrying a full complement of passengers and crew. Within her hold were many valuable items of the rich and famous, but there was one absolutely priceless item on board. It was a mummy of a prophetess who was alive during the reign of Tutankhamun's father-in-law, Amenhotep IV. So, did this unlucky mummy cause the destruction of the Titanic? The story says that the mummy of the prophetess was being stored in a compartment directly behind the bridge when the Titanic hit the iceberg and consequently sank. The Atlantic Ocean was below freezing and meant certain death to any passenger, not in one of her 20 lifeboats. The wreck caused roughly 1,500 out of 2,224 passengers and crew on board to perish. Was it the mummy's guiding hand that steered the Titanic into the iceberg? Could it have been coincidental that a sacred bracelet on the wrist of a mummified hand was discovered in Egypt with an inscription that read, "Cursed be he who moves my body"? Unfortunately for ghost hunters, it was just an elaborate story created by two over-imaginative minds of William Stead and Douglas Murray. They merged two interesting stories into one to create an ingenious hoax. The first story involved an acquaintance of theirs who acquired an Egyptian mummy which was then displayed in his drawing room. The following morning, all the breakable items in the room were smashed. It was claimed that each time the mummy was then moved to another room in the house, the same occurrence would repeat itself with the breakables ending up destroyed in the particular room. The second story was created after a visit to the British Museum where they saw the coffin lid of the priestess of Amen-Ra. The coffin's original occupant was a tormented soul, and her evil spirit was said to be a curse to anyone moving her body. So with these two ideas in mind, William Stead concocted his ghastly tale about the unlucky mummy being stored just behind the bridge on the Titanic during its doomed journey, which was eventually picked up by the press, and the story was circulated far and wide. Later investigations into the claim have been conducted over the years, and it was discovered that the mummy still resides in London. If you go to the British Museum, you will find the mummy in the Egyptian mummy rooms on the second floor. The mummy is actually the lid of an inner coffin that was donated to the British Museum in 1889. It has no name, but its number is 22,542. Many factors contributed to the fateful sinking of the Titanic, but an unlucky mummy definitely wasn't one of them.